Today's class is going to be basically a level 5 class. Yes, so you're going to get an idea of what level 5 feels like. And because of that, this class is a little difficult. So I'm recording it because you might want to rewatch it later. Okay. Where's my pen? Where's my pen? Oh, there's my pen.
Black pen.
Sometimes I want to get like a necklace that has a little hole and I can just drop the pen in. That would be good. I should do that. Okay. So, welcome to level 5. Today and tomorrow will be level 5 style. Which means they're going to feel a little different and be a little different. Let's start with pronunciation. Please repeat after me. Add.
Add.
Odd.
Odd.
Add, odd.
Add. Odd.
Ax, ox.
X. Ox.
An, on.
And on.
Apt, opt.
Act. Off.
Active, octave.
Active. Octave.
What is the meaning of apt and opt? What are the meanings of apt and opt? No, what is apt? Apt means likely to. I'm apt to take level 5. I'm apt to skip lunch. So apt is likely to. What is opt? Yeah.
Option.
Choose to. I opt to take level 5. I opt to skip lunch. So apt, likely to, opt, choose to. Pat, pot.
Pat. Pot.
Stack, stock.
Stack. Stock.
Black, block.
Black. Block.
Shack, shock.
Shack. Shock.
Maddest, modest.
Modest. Modest.
Pat is active in an online organization called MoveOn.org.
Pat is active in an online organization called nuance.
How do I say this one?
Organization.
.org.
.org.
You can say .org, spell it, but most people just say .org. .org. What's this one?
Net.
.net. So this one and this one we say as words. This one. .edu. Edu. This one you spell each letter. This one. .co.kr. This one you spell. So these two are spelled, these two are words. .com, .net, .org, .edu, .co.kr. How did I lose it again? Add those boxes to the stack in the stockroom.
Add those boxes to the stack in the stockroom.
One more time. Stack.
Stack.
There's something odd about the frosting on that cake.
There's something odd about the frosting on the cake.
I opted to wear a modest black dress.
I opted to wear a modest white dress.
Halfway down the block, you'll see an old shack.
Halfway down the block, you see an old shack.
Okay, one more time. You'll.
You'll.
Okay, we have a new chart. So we're going to go over the chart first, and then we're going to talk about it. Please repeat after me. He usually reads the newspaper during breakfast.
He usually reads the newspaper during breakfast.
He usually goes to a museum at 10.
He usually goes to a museum at 10.
He usually mows the lawn when he gets back from the museum.
He usually mows the lawn when he gets back from the museum.
He usually plays tennis while his wife is preparing lunch.
He usually plays tennis while his wife is preparing lunch.
He usually takes a shower at 1:15.
He usually takes a shower at 1:15.
He usually eats lunch at 1:30.
He usually eats lunch at 1:30.
He usually spends time with his family after lunch.
He usually spends time with his family after lunch.
He usually helps his wife with the dishes while the children are playing outside.
He usually helps his wife with the dishes while the children are playing outside.
He usually does odd jobs around the house between 4 and 6.
He usually does odd jobs around the house between 4 and 6.
He usually changes at 6:45.
He usually changes at 6:45.
He usually takes his family out to dinner at 7.
He usually takes his family out to dinner at 7.
He usually watches TV while his wife puts the children to bed.
He usually watches TV while his wife puts the children to bed.
Okay, so we have a couple of things that we need to talk about. My first question is odd jobs, chores, housework, errands, homework. What's the difference?
Odd job is normal job. Don't.
Odd.
Odd job.
Mm-hmm.
Don't usually work.
What do you mean?
Unregular.
In what way?
Sometimes do or sometimes don't do.
Tell me more.
Special thing. Special thing.
Give me an example.
I have to go special place. 아니.
Anyone else? What's an odd job?
That's my job.
I'm going to give you 75%. You were almost there. What's the other 25% of Jiwon's answer?
No.
Welcome to level 5. Okay. Odd job. An odd job is a random job
Random.
in my home or in my office. So what I mean by that is that washing the dishes, throwing out the garbage, these are regular jobs. But painting the wall, changing the light bulb, fixing the washing machine, these are random. So odd jobs are random jobs that sometimes need to be done. Okay. So odd job is a random job. What's the difference between chore and housework?
Regular. The daily I have to do.
What's the
In
difference?
my chores and housework.
Chores, housework, what's the difference?
I think it's very similar.
They are similar, but there's nuance.
Nuance is different.
Yes, so there's nuance in the difference. What's the nuance?
Homework is home.
Chores means not important. Small things.
Okay, so housework is what has to be done. Housework is doing the laundry, doing the dishes. It's general. Chores are individual jobs. I'm responsible for all the housework. But when I tell my son, you have to do the dishes, it's a chore. So everything is housework. It's all my responsibility. But you throw out the garbage, you wash the dishes. Those are chores. So chores are individual jobs. And housework is general. Everything. And so that's why if you're a homemaker or a stay-at-home mom, I do housework all day. My children do chores. What are errands?
Others work. Others
Who?
my family. For my family. But
What kind of job is it?
if I take care of my family, I will do instead of them.
No.
No?
Try something.
Make it bigger.
When their parents let their children do something.
You were there. And you went in a different direction. Errands are my jobs outside of the house.
Outside?
Mm-hmm.
Inside is work?
Right.
Always outside the work?
Usually. Going to the bank is an errand. Taking your mother-in-law to the doctor is an errand. Going to the dry cleaner is an errand. So my jobs outside the house, the little things that are not in the house, are errands. And in English, we run errands.
Run errands.
So this weekend I have to run some errands. Oh, I'm running errands at lunch. Do you want to have lunch? No, I got to run some errands. Run errands, little jobs outside. And homework.
Inside the work. Inside the work.
No, homework is schoolwork. Homework is schoolwork at home. So children do homework, mom does housework, dad does chores, oldest son does errands, and grandfather does odd jobs. Okay. This question was asked to me by a student in my level 3 class yesterday. And so I'm curious. What's the difference between to dinner and for dinner? I took my mother out to dinner. I took my mother out for dinner. What's the difference? So in level 3, we learned to and for. When do we use to?
Direction.
Not direction.
Not direction.
So students always tell me direction, and I always say location.
Location.
To school, to the bank, to the gym. To is location. So in this case, out to dinner, dinner is a location. For dinner is the reason. For dinner plus noun. So why are you going to this restaurant? Oh, I'm going out for dinner. My reason. Oh, where are you going now? Oh, I'm going out to dinner. Location.
Location.
Can I erase?
All right. I took off already.
Students. I have 3 sentences. Put the kids to bed,
Mm.
put the students to sleep, put the dog to sleep. They have 3 different meanings.
Put is a different meaning.
Put to bed, put to sleep, put to sleep. 3 different meanings. So, first question. What is the meaning of put the kids to bed?
The kids to bed. To position. To location. So, to the kids, put the kids down
In
onto
the
the bed.
So, in this case, put the kids to bed is a phrase. So it doesn't match the grammar perfectly.
Oh.
Yeah. Because normally we wouldn't put kids to bed. We would put them in bed.
Right.
Yeah. Put the kids to bed. Anyone have a guess?
I think I ordered to children. You have to go bed.
I'll order them.
A strong opinion.
Not exactly. Prepare them for bed.
Prepare.
Mm-hmm. So, this means for example, you read them a bedtime story. You give them a glass of water. You tuck them in. You kiss them. You say, I love you. That's putting them to bed. So the whole routine of getting them ready, prepared for bed, is put the kids to bed. Put the kids to sleep. Oh, sorry, put the students to sleep.
Still fall in the sleep.
Fall asleep?
No,
How or why?
Mother lie down with
Ah.
and with them a book.
But put the students to sleep.
To sleep.
Put the students to sleep.
Mm-hmm. Put the students to sleep.
Very boring.
Correct.
Boring.
My grandfather, he tells me these stories. They put me to sleep.
Uh-huh.
Put the dog to sleep.
Dog is sick.
Mm-hmm.
Dog have a sick.
Dog is sick.
Dog is sick.
And then? Kill. Yes. Not kill in a mean way, but you go to the veterinarian, you go to the animal doctor, and your dog is sick, and they say, I'm sorry. And you say, okay, put him to sleep. So my dog was put to sleep, my dog died. I put my dog to sleep, I killed my dog. Not in a bad way, in a nice way.
Nice way.
Nice way.
Naturally die.
Medicine.
Medicine die.
Yeah. So this is important because if someone says to you, oh, I had such a bad day. I put my students to sleep. I was boring. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I had such a bad day. I put my dog to sleep. Oh, don't worry. No. Put animal to sleep, die. Put people to sleep, bore. Put people to bed, prepare for bed. Okay. Questions? Now it gets difficult. Today, we are going to go over your prepositions. So here I have prepositions of time. Here I have when we use them. Exact time, action, noun, and all. Time is usually either a point in time, doesn't move, or a stretch of time, duration. So we're going to go over all of these prepositions and organize them by whether they are exact time, action, noun, point in time, stretch of time, etc. Okay. So let's start with at. When do we use at?
Exact time.
Exact time. Is it a point of time or a stretch of time? What is it? Point or stretch?
Point.
Point. Yes. So at is a point. Okay. You have two cards, and while we're going over these, I'm going to ask people to make a sentence. And so using your card, we're going to make different sentences with prepositions. So for example, they paint at 9 o'clock. Then later, they paint after gym. So you're going to use the same card to make multiple sentences. Okay. Two people, please give me at sentences.
They brush after breakfast.
At.
Breathe.
Mhm.
They are brush at
One more time.
They brush. They brush.
What?
They brush at brush teeth.
They brush their teeth.
They brush their teeth at 9 a.m.
Yes, they brush their teeth at 9 a.m.
Wow.
Cherri. Good to see you. Welcome to Cherri's class.
Do you want to take class or do you want to do your test now? Okay.
오자마자 들려나.
Poor 보나. Poor 보나.
투어. 뭐 투어야. 일부러 왔구만. 시험 보고.
아니 우리 나만의 친구.
거기
아니 뭐 하러 했어 지금?
한 번이 문장 만들라는 거는
애두개 만들어야
애두
돼.
문제.
지원했으니까 써니가 앱 만들고 앱 2명 만들고
우리끼리 두 명 만든다.
Okay. Who else has an at sentence? Sunny.
They met at 11 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
and they go on a date. Now,
One more time.
they met 11 a.m.
They met at 11 a.m.
11 a.m. and they go on a date.
And they
They enjoy date.
went on a date.
Went on a date.
Mm-hmm.
They went on a date.
Okay. When? When do I use when?
time.
Time.
Exactly time.
Action.
Action.
Action time.
Okay. Is it a point in time or a stretch of time?
Stretch.
Point in time.
Point in time.
Point in time. Whenever.
Why this time?
I have two sentences or parts of a sentence. When I was working, when working. Who thinks they are both okay? Okay. Who thinks one is okay? Okay. Which one is okay? When I was working. Celia is correct. You were taught that when you use when, it must be when plus a clause, when subject verb. When plus gerund is okay. When eating, I like to watch TV. When working, I'm really tired. When studying, blah, blah, blah. So when plus gerund is okay. Okay, so who's got a when sentence? Martha.
A boy started doing climbing when he was a teenager.
One more time.
A boy
Start past tense.
starts. A boy started doing having playing going.
Climb is a verb.
A boy started climbing when he was a teenager.
Correct. So a boy started climbing when he was a teenager. A boy started going possible. But climbing is a verb. Who else has a when sentence? Okay, Celia.
When I went back home, Jack was ironing his clothes. Ironing his clothes.
Yes, when I went back home, when I got back home, Jake was ironing. Okay, next we have while. Action, stretch of time. So it's the same rule as when. While I was working, I didn't make a lot of money. While working, I didn't make much money. We often use while plus gerund. While studying, I get tired. While visiting my mom. While living. So while plus gerund is very common. Okay? Who's got a while sentence?
While I was studying, play the piano is very hard.
One more time.
While I was studying the piano, I was very hard.
One more time.
It was very difficult.
Your
when
first
I
sentence.
was studying the piano, while I was studying the piano, I feel that it was very very difficult.
Yes, it was hard. Remember,
It was hard.
no.
It was hard.
Your original sentence was while studying, play piano was hard. While studying, playing piano was hard.
Was hard.
Studying, playing. Who else has a while sentence?
I ate some water during
While.
while taking a bath.
Okay, one more time, change your first verb.
While
So I
took a bath.
No. So your same sentence, but change your first verb. So your sentence was, I ate some water while taking a bus.
I ate some.
I drank.
Drink.
I drank some water while taking a bath.
Correct. I drank some water while taking a bus. Okay. Next is during. When do we use during?
period.
Spread.
Martha, one more time.
Now.
Noun. The difference between while and during is that while is used with a noun. So during is a stretch of time used with a noun. During lunch, during 2020, during the party. So who has a during sentence?
During the party, I was very boring.
One more time.
During the party,
Mm-hmm.
I was very bored. Because I have not done worried. I was worried.
One more time, pronunciation.
Bored. During party,
During the party.
I was bored. Bored is wrong.
Okay, who else has a during sentence? Okay.
During last Seollal holiday,
Mm-hmm.
Seollal, I went to Japan.
During last Solal, I went to Japan. During Solal, because last already tells us, so we wouldn't double. So last Solal, I went to Japan. During Solal, I went to Japan. Okay, after and before. When do we use after and before?
Clouds.
Exact time.
The time something finished.
Action.
What is in my hand?
You're moving.
Picture.
Action.
What is in my hand?
Pen.
What color?
All. All kinds. I'm stupid.
No. There's a reason I have so many colors. Okay. I like to have coffee after 9:30. I like to have coffee after studying. I like to have coffee after class. So, before and after are all. And I think before and after are stretches of time, points of time. Okay. Between. When do we use between?
Noun. Personal. No time. Exact time. All.
So between 9:35 and 10:35, I study English. Between class and lunch, I go to a coffee shop. Between working and studying, I'm very busy these days. So between is all, and it is a stretch of time. Around.
Around the corner. Around. Action.
Around pointing. Around.
Which color?
What is?
Now.
Purple. Exact time.
Exact time.
Yes, around exact time. Around actually works with action and noun, but it changes the meaning. So around studying actually means related to studying. Around class usually means location. So you can use around with the other ones, but it doesn't mean time anymore. So let's have coffee around the school, around class. Yeah, we need to talk, I just want to talk around studying about studying. Okay, later. Later is not one of these. Later is different. No. Well, yes, but it's different. Why is later different? Later is sequence. And as Sunny says, it requires a starting time. So what I mean by that is, I woke up at 3 a.m. I ate breakfast 2 hours later. I need a starting time. Then later is from my starting time. I moved to Suwon in 2015. 3 years later, I moved to Seoul. So later is used for sequence.
Not a time. Later is not a time, just a sequence.
Right. And last two, by and until. What's the difference?
Already finished. Until continue to.
By is the time something stops. The time something finishes. Until is continuous time. So by is a point in time, until is continuous time. I will speak English well by February. I have until February to speak English well. So now till February, done.
Done.
But until February, study. So until is continuous action. By is the time when something stops. Any questions? I'm going to go and do bonus listening. While I do that, what I would like you to do is two things. One thing is that I'm going to show you your test. The other thing is that I would like you to make a new sentence. But I want your sentence to have three prepositions. So try to use 3 different prepositions to
Help my husband. Right? It's very simple.
One more time.
When I was 30 years old, while my husband prepared to go to the work, I wake up at 6 a.m. for help my husband.
Okay. Google says we have some things to fix. So, what do we have to fix? So, are you 30 years old now?
No.
So we need to make it past tense.
Prepared.
Yes.
Prepared.
Okay?
What? I woke up.
To go to work. Know the.
No,
I woke up.
I woke up. To help my husband.
Correct. So when I was 30 years old, while my husband prepared to go to work, I woke up at 6 a.m. to help my husband. Correct. Okay. Okay, who's next?
I usually wake up at 7. I usually wake up around 7 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
and I study for prepare my English class during coffee.
One more time.
I study for preparing my English class.
Okay.
And then I take a shower and wear a mask. I go to my English institute. After the class, I often had lunch with my company.
One more time, whole thing.
I take a shower and wear a mask and go to my English institute. After the class, I often have lunch with my classmates.
Okay. I usually wake up around 7 a.m. and I study for preparing for English class. Okay. Okay, what do I need to change? I usually wake up around 7 and I prepare for English class. During coffee, possible but a little strange. While drinking, or during my morning coffee. And then I take a shower, and what's the meaning of wear? Put on. Put on a mask and go to my English institute. After that, I often have lunch with my classmates. Correct. Okay. I will send this document to you on Kakao. Okay, who's next?
강남 SK located around the Gangnam subway station. Every 5 days a week, we meet at SK and start together. About 2 years later, I will be speak English.
Okay, one more time, whole thing. Yeah.
강남 SK located around the Gangnam subway station. Every 5 days a week, we meet at SDA and study together. About 2 years later, I will speak English.
Okay. So, first, we need a be verb. Gangnam SDA is located. Yes. Around the Gangnam blah 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 subway station. Every 5 days a week is strange. Also not true, but 5 days a week. 5 days a week. But 4 days a week. I don't come here on Fridays. 4 days a week, we meet at SDA and we study together. We don't have a starting time. So when we don't have a starting time, we have to assume it's time from now. What do we use for time from now?
Time from now.
지금부터.
And
In 2 years, I will speak English well. So when we are talking about from a starting point, I started in 2015, 2 years later, I spoke well. But starting from this point, in. Class will be over in 3 minutes. I'll see you in 4 days. So time from now is in. Okay. Okay. Who else has a sentence? Okay.
I prepared the meal while my son washing his face. After that, I'm going to go to cafe after class. The cafe is between the car center and the convenience store. I will come back home around 3 a.m.
3 a.m. Party time.
Yeah.
3 p.m.
3 p.m.
3 p.m. Okay. Past tense or regularly? Or today? Today? Okay. So I prepared, hold on. I prepared in the past a meal. What came next about your son? While, what comes next?
while my son.
My second son.
She said
Mhm.
my son.
I forgot where the my son goes.
Yeah.
So what was your original sentence? Paper.
While my son washing his face.
Okay. So while washing my face, possible, but because your son is the subject, while my son was washing his face. After that is past, but after this class, I'm going to
go to cafe
between the car center
and
Sweets Planet
the convenience
store. I will
come back. I will
get back.
get back.
I will get back
Back
home
home.
around 3 p.m. The reason is because you are here and come is here. I will come back to SDA at 3 p.m. I will go back home, but we're talking about arrival, get. Okay. Celia.
Oh, very short. My future son went on a business to Daejeon at 7 p.m. last night. He said he would visit one of his friends after he finished his work. And then I get back around 6 p.m. this evening.
Okay. My older son went on a business trip to Daejeon at 7 p.m. last night. He said he would visit one of his friends after he finished his work, and then get back around 6 p.m. this evening. Yeah. Any questions? Okay. I will send this to you all on Kakao.